Oregon at Michigan. Michigan stinks, people, but guess what? I played Michigan.
Oh, we're in
I bet
agreement. It's
Michigan.
going on the board. Put this on. They'll get the board out. Let's go.
It's on the board. All right. Updated.
I can't
Up,
believe we're backing Michigan and on the board.
it's on the board. Agree tab 14-9 so far this year. Easily could be 17-6. Lost 3 games by the hook because of 2-point conversions. If I don't get a 2-point, I'm like 0 of 17 on 2-point conversions to cover either way this year. I don't know if I want to root for 2-point conversions for progression or just want to avoid them. I even have the Giants, the worst 2-point conversion I've ever seen. It's like a high school team on Monday night. I don't know what that play was, but anyway, I digress. Yeah, I like Michigan here. Anything over 2 touchdowns. First, for starters, well, Michigan's looking to beat a #1 ranked team for the first time since they beat Miami in 1984. Lost 8 straight since. So, from a pure market perspective, first, Michigan closed 6-point favorite at Illinois. It's assuming they're over a touchdown better. And they lost that game, but they were pretty unlucky, all things considered. Oregon was a 21-point favorite at home against Illinois. So, take around 3.5 points for home field in Oregon and Michigan, 7-point difference. We're basically saying that Michigan and Illinois are equals. The market just told us that Michigan's about a touchdown better. I have Michigan, I think, about 4.5 points better than Illinois, who I think is terrible.
Right.
The other thing is low total here, catching over 2 touchdowns at home. This is a better matchup for Michigan than Illinois.
Yep.
One of the reasons I bet Oregon last week against Illinois is Illinois can't run the ball. Michigan can. Oregon's biggest weakness by far is their run defense. They're outside the top 100 in a couple advanced metrics. Part of that is Genty, but we saw Purdue move the ball on the ground at will at times against Oregon. They just couldn't finish drives, and they have a terrible defense. Michigan actually has a good defense. Maybe Will Johnson decides to play as well. The Illinois defensive line, also terrible. Michigan has a really good defensive line that I think can play up here. Oregon's offense still really lacks explosiveness. The other thing, Oregon doesn't care about these games in the second half. So even if they blow this open and they're up 21, but I think Michigan can hold them to 28 or fewer. And I think that they can have success on the ground, shorten this game. But Oregon just gets a lead and then just sits on it, but brings in their backups that stay healthy. They have no incentive to get margin. They're already in the College World Playoff. I think this is a bit too many points given the matchup and the situation. So I took the Wolverines catching over 2 touchdowns at home. You agree?
I completely agree. I agree with you on the Michigan side on offense about what they're going to do here. You know that they're going to go.
Yeah, they don't have the Oregon secondary has been really good.
Right.
Michigan doesn't have receivers. Like that advantage is who cares?
Right.
And I actually finally like the play calling is more innovative from Michigan last week. Their offense kind of had some added wrinkles, and I liked some of the things that I saw. Like I think they can get to 14 points here.
Yeah. Look, Oregon's defense is tremendous at stopping the pass, top 10 in every metric, a havoc rank of 7th because of a pass rush that can get all up in your business. And they can swat things down. Cornerback Jabbar Muhammad leads a secondary that is just, they swat everything out there. 14th, I believe, and contested catch rate. So what you're going to look at is this Michigan offense that has been redefined now with Tuttle retiring, Orgy's back to inside zone with Khalil Mullings, and you're going to look at Davis Warren and his 4.4 average depth of target, targeted Colston Loveland 8 times last week. So that's the offense. That's the entire offense. And Oregon's going to have to try to stop these run concepts of outside zone. Michigan has been explosive with inside zone, and that is a way that Oregon can be gash. I think the other side of the ball stuck is what made my decision on that I want to back Michigan. Dylan Gabriel right now is riding this just wave of Heisman money. His numbers look so good in the last 2 weeks against Purdue and Illinois. I throw him out. Dylan Gabriel has seen 65 pressures this season. Only 8 of them have come in the last 2 weeks. That offensive line has kept Dylan Gabriel clean. He could eat off the turf and no one could touch him. Gabriel's
Plus,
been,
you could run all day on Purdue and Illinois, and
yeah.
that just sets everything else up and opens everything else up. And neither of those teams get pressure, as you said.
And I've said this about Gabriel, like when all the Heisman bets were flying in the summer, I say it's a real problem with pressure. That's still going on this year. Two big time throws, two turnover worthy plays. Michigan is ranked as the top pass rush unit in all of PFF. It is a leaky defense, though. You mentioned Will Johnson, like the Wolverines defense on the back end, they're 80th in coverage grading. So, if Wink Martindale is going to send blitz 40% of the time, you're going to see some Oregon explosives through the pass game. But if hands are in the face of Dylan Gabriel, there's going to be some problems here. It could even turn into a turnover. The biggest problem is Michigan's defense is 125th and allowing explosives during passing down. So Gabriel, if he can get his A dot pushed up a little bit and create explosive plays, which Oregon really has not done this year through the pass, 125th in pass EPA, then you're going to see Oregon potentially cover. But I don't think they will, because if you look at Michigan's defensive line, Derek Moore, Mason Graham, and Josiah Stewart, each one of them have 24 pressures this season. I love the zone read. I love the power concepts on the Michigan offensive side of the ball. I think Colston Loveland becomes a big factor, whether he's catching the ball behind the line of scrimmage. This is going to be enough to keep this number close with Oregon, especially because they cannot defend the run like they do the pass.
Yeah, and that'll enable Michigan to hold the ball, possess it, shrink the game, and I think stay within 2 touchdowns.